And welcome back to Roll for Story. Carrick's Towers arc, the prelude. We're still not at the tower. One day, but more important things call to the players, like stopping the end of the world from burning to pieces and lava spewing across the land, and a massive hydra of destruction. So, how do they get on with that? Well, last week they managed to seal another head, that one being Drax's, the derpiest of the four Hydra heads. Though they didn't get to meet them, they did see a giant statue kind of depicting them. And it was being hacked away by these fire elemental myrmidons. And every time its form seemed to shatter a piece off, you saw more of these elemental creatures spawning from the lake of lava. Jumped into action, managed to get over there pretty quickly and engage in a fight with them. But then the portal that was, or rather the altar that was on this chunk of rock began to float away, and Kesh'an had to nimbly balance from left to right to make sure it was equalized and not tipping him into the lava. Eirina managed to pull off some of the strange little lizards, the cruxes of fire, into the lava below. Not all of them could make it back, so dealt with those in a swift manner. And Karius zoomed on ahead, making sure to take out the Myrmidons and blasting them off the edge, whilst Andy met them with a cloud of daggers as they're trying to climb back up. And then you began repairing the said statue to make sure it didn't just burst free. And finally, Llyvelin was blowing all the methods up like a giant fly swatter, I guess, whilst Eirina protected his butt, his monkey butt, because he wasn't ape at one point until he finally broke concentration. All right, but nonetheless, another altar successfully sealed, and the third one is in sight. But to come back on yourselves to the center of the island where there is this massive volcanic entrance. There's a river of lava spanning this section, broken causeways and bridges, now occupied by slithering little fire snakes, the likes of which you saw when you first arrived on the island. Except now there is 3 new combatants. These look like larger versions of the fire snakes. Salamanders, they're called. They have these kind of flaming frills that run down the length of their snaky form, and they wield these long, barbed-looking spears. You can see the heat rising from their bodies as their little barbels kind of like wave in the haze. And there is one larger and more imposing the salamander, and she's just emerged from the portal wielding this fiery trident, and she seems to command an attention from the troops. And I believe she said along the lines of that the ritual is almost complete, and that soon the world will bathe in fire. It's been too long since our primordial lord has awoken. And that is where we kind of left off. You guys are just at the top of the ridge, peering over and formulating a plan. And so you're not technically on the map yet. If you wish to be like right here, we're gonna need to like roll like a stealth check to get this close. But you're sort of like some distance away, peering down, looking at the map from like the highest ridge, because this area is like the caldera almost, and that lake of lava seems to spill out and into the. Actually, it should be the other way around when you think about it. Then never mind. Anyway, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but after those last few encounters, I'm a little bit more tapped than I'd like for this one, so I'm happy to go through fighting, but it might be better to avoid it if we can.
I mean, I could probably cause a distraction while you lot sneak around. It looks like you can get around on the left-hand side there.
Not a bad shout.
Will you be able to come back around and meet us through the portal, or would that be you out
Oh,
if you do?
I can probably teleport away. If it's not through the gate, then I can actually teleport out of the room at least.
Okay.
I should just about manage it. It just depends on how long you guys take to get into the room. You guys are going to have to be quick.
Yeah. Probably the best
Just
thing
then,
we've got.
as you're scouting this area out, you hear a kind of scuffle behind you. Perhaps a bit of volcanic rock tips them off as something kind of lands and bounces down the ridge face. Llyvelin, you probably hear it first with your passive perception. There's something moving around nearby.
Ooh.
What do you do?
Whereabouts is it coming from?
Someone is, or something is trying to clearly scale the ridge, and they're like ducking down behind areas where there's like boulders of volcanic rock, but as they duck down, something dislodged from it and it bounced its way down the cliff face.
I can send Taklo to go scout.
Yeah, I'll point out where it's coming from.
Taklo, you know what to do. Go have a look and tell me what's what.
They go flying down there, and they soon uncover as they fly over the rock and look down. Taklo discovers this person. You really should be more quiet. If we can hear you sneaking up on us, they could probably hear you. And yeah, you see Shadowstorm stand up. He looks weary, still exhausted, and he's kind of like got a limp, but he looks sort of recovered. And he's like, apologies, I didn't want to alert the others. And Tidalwave's like, what are you doing up here? You're supposed to be resting. And he says, I managed to get a small rest in. But you know as well as I, we haven't time for a long. If we're going to do this, we have to hit all 4 of these altars at once. Before their seals are broken again. And he kind of stumbles up towards the rest of you. He's still got 3 levels of exhaustion. But he has managed to recover all his wounds. Thanks to spending a short rest and spending 7 hit dice to recover 84 hit points. So yeah, he's looking much better in the healthy department. I overheard something about a distraction and potential sacrifice.
No.
Well, we never said sacrifice.
Plan on dying.
Mm-hmm. It's a risky play.
Of course it is. Do you see this
They're
room?
all
The entire thing is one big risk.
Of course. How do you plan to catch up to the rest of us if we do make it in?
Oh, you missed the part where I can teleport.
So you lead them away and then teleport back to here?
Not a bad idea.
You run these things?
Well, if we're planning to sneak round, I could lend you the glaive. That way you've got more movement speed. Because the rest of us are probably going to be moving at about the same pace, apart from Speedy gone kitty over there.
Yeah.
You guys just have to try and be quiet and not get seen is my biggest concern.
I hate to be a party pooper in all this, but yeah, we can try and sneak around and go into the portal. But are we going to be able to sneak around and not fall into lava? There's quite a few gaps from what I can see. How do we get over those?
There are boulders, right? You can jump across those.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you
We
want
can
to try and sneak in, I still have a few spells left. I can try and sneak us in with a pass without trace.
It's not a bad idea.
Don't call me Shadow Storm for nothing. And as he starts casting it, you do see a masking shadow sort of lower down and cover you in this kind of gloom. A veil of shadow and silence radiates from them.
Before, like, this all happens, I'm reaching into one of my pockets. I'm gonna hand out 1 vial of Leonardo da Vinci poison to Andy. Ooh. I'm gonna give 1 to Shadowstorm,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna hold on to 1 from myself, just in case.
All right. I had better.
So
make
those
sure
go on your
they're your
weapons.
sheet.
Whether you want to use it on your arrows or your sword, up to you.
What
But
is-
your sword is
You
obviously-
can coat multiple pieces of ammunition or a weapon once, like a melee weapon once.
What does that do again? I have one
God
dose,
knows.
but
You want to know what it does?
yeah,
Jeez.
I should probably write it down in the description.
Right, let me find it. Where is it? Leonardo da Vinci poison.
I've got it wrote down as that as well.
10 poison damage,
Jeez.
DC 18.
Oh, that's a bad poison.
Anything else, or
Mm.
is that damage?
I mean,
No, it's just damage.
Llyvelin, you can summon elementals. Is poison going to be effective on the fiery ones?
Don't
Roll an Arcana check.
remember. Feel like I would know, but
Oh, don't ruin my fun. I thought it was a good idea.
I do as well. It's just because I've also
What
got
did
the
you get?
bass.
23.
Okay. Creatures made of fire themselves, like the living embodiments of it, i.e., fire elementals, are immune to poison.
Oof.
But these things aren't elementals, right? They're lizards.
They are elementals, the type of creature, but they're not fire elementals. They are not like big elemental fire.
They're not. They're not
the
made
word.
out of fire.
Yeah, so they're
That's
not going
right,
to burn
yes.
away the poison, right?
They are just. They're clearly like they live in fire, but they're not made of fire. So if you were
Okay.
cutting these up before,
I feel like if
and
there's
you-
a time to use this, it's now. Even if
Right.
it doesn't work.
Then, if
Like, I'll give you a few
desperation,
different examples. Like the fire myrmidons, they were like made of fire. The cruxes of fire, little lizards, they were made of fire.
Yeah, none of
What are the methods?
None of these are made of fire, so it's all good.
When you
well,
saw these earlier, they were like fleshy. Yes, you managed
Yeah.
to see and cut a few up. When you punched one in the face, they were definitely physical.
yeah, Eirina,
Magma elementals were made of magma.
yeah. If you're planning to lead them away, are you planning to get any blows in? Is that why you're taking the poison with you?
No, this is for when I get into the room with you lot.
Then
I am
Would
not
you-
planning on fighting this lot by myself.
fair. I mean, if you wanted to get in a good blow, I do have a greater basilisk skull.
What does that do?
It's a 30-foot cone, con save, 8d8 poison damage. On a fail or half as much on a success.
I will take that as a contingency plan.
Yeah. I'm just thinking in the case of the fire snakes, it might be enough to maybe bring them down. I don't know how They didn't seem that tough when we fought them before.
I'm not planning on fighting
Yeah.
them. I'm planning
I know,
on
but
getting their attention and
just in
running.
case they surround you or something, you know.
Mm.
Though you can
Okay.
teleport, so I'm not sure that's really that big a threat, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the last thing they'll expect if they come chasing you is for you to just appear next to the portal and walk through. So, sounds
Yeah.
like a sound plan.
It's the only plan I got, unless you guys have got something else.
Yeah, I don't have much else on me. The only thing I could do is maybe try to get in position and do something similarly to what you're planning, but do enthrall instead.
Yeah, for me it would
Try to
be
charm them.
for me it would be using my last high level spell to summon an elemental and guide them away while fighting
I
them.
think,
But
given the circumstances, most of my magic is fire-based, and it's not very helpful against these guys. I think you lot have got a better shot of making a dent before I can get there.
yeah, sounds good. Just
Yeah.
don't get yourself killed.
All right.
Don't worry. You have
Stealth.
an extra diamond.
Well, I haven't brought. I
Just
haven't
don't let
brought.
my body fall in the lava,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Don't do that.
But don't worry,
Stealth.
I'm gonna do my best.
Stealth check
haven't
it
brought-
is.
I haven't brought you back yet, anyway. So
Not planning on dying, Llyvelin. Don't worry.
stealth check.
Crap.
Dang. That was with the lowest.
Yeah.
Oh,
The other was a nat
Dang.
20.
did it automatically
These.
put the plus 10 in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Trace is automated.
Wow, that's awesome.
You can see Tidal Wave and Shadowstorm just blend effortlessly into the smoke and ash surrounding this area. And indeed, to make it more like camouflaged, Shadowstorm has made it kind of appear like this kind of cloud of ash that's just like low settling down into the caldera,
Oh yeah, I need
rather
to
than just be this
roll.
big black void in the distance.
See how yeah.
Quick question for you, Chris.
Everyone
Andy's
has
stealth
smashed
check
this.
right.
Stealth check is yes, because as I just said, it's automated with the.
No. But look at her stealth.
I
Plus
know
3 and
it's plus
two.
10.
No, it's the 3
No,
plus 2.
I mean on her sheet.
She doesn't have. Weirdly, it doesn't look like she has proficiency in stealth. She has
Jack of all
Jack of all
trades.
trades on stealth, so it's half
Yeah.
the proficiency bonus. So yeah.
Which is correct. That's correct.
Okay.
It's 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 10 from
Yep.
Pass Without Trace.
And I'm just gonna bamf Taklo out of existence for the time being.
Ready. You add another plus 10.
Another what? Sorry.
Her stealth, she's got plus 15.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's including the
That's all the
Jack of all
bonuses.
trades. That's
Okay.
including the Pass Without Trace.
Pass Without Trace. Yeah. Pass Without Trace gives everyone plus 10 to their stealth, and it's automated on the sheet.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
you can see that is what you would roll.
Because I
I
definitely
changed
do
my
not have
sheet
a
as
plus
well.
12 in stealth.
Okay. I don't think anyone is failing this check by the looks, even if they did at this point, like that. It still wouldn't matter because you're the one. Wait, Eirina, you're going off to distract anyway. So
I know.
you
I
don't
just wanted
even
to roll it for
need
the
to
heck
do
of it.
stuff. Well, it's not allowed.
Rude.
Taklo as well. I guess.
Taklo, I'll just bamf out of existence because I can. I can just bamf
All
him
right.
and bring him back.
Yeah. Into the pocket dimension, there you guys.
Yep.
All right. As Eirina starts to separate and
Look.
fork out from you guys, you start to hear
Actually-
them, their sounds of their footsteps crunching against the volcanic rock.
I'm actually thinking, should I
Yes.
send Taklo with Eirina instead, actually, as a communication method? That's actually probably smart. Yeah, I'll send Taklo with Eirina instead.
All right. 100 feet, though. That's
Yeah,
the distance.
yeah, but
Which
if
Shadowstorm
Eirina gets...
says I could do that with message.
Yeah, I know, but you're meant to be focusing on this, and I didn't want to distract you.
Oh.
And that way, if something happens, like Taklo can quickly fly back or something, you know.
Very well. All right, everyone, hush. Follow me. Quiet footsteps.
Clank, clank,
Into the
clank, clank. Get my big plate on.
He does his best to muffle the sound. Okay. Let's bring it to this one. All right, Eirina, you start to walk along the ridge, and already you can hear some. You've rustled some feathers, we'll say. Several of these fire snakes seem to be aggroing onto you.
I'm going to continue to walk along the ridge. I'm going to pull out, rather than the dragon book, I'm going to pull out the Anthem of Fire, because it seems appropriate.
Okay.
And I'm going to start reading it out loud in Draconic.
That's the sound of one of the larger salamanders also beginning to order them to move forward to investigate. And yeah, sure enough, all these little fiery snakes kind of hop down from their perch and start to make their way towards you. You see the salamander monarch. She seems to raise her trident and point in the direction. And I don't know, anyone can still... Someone here can speak Ignan, can't they?
I
I
can't.
can.
Oh, or Ignan.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said
I
it was
can
infernal
speak
last
primordial.
They
Yeah, I
can
think
speak
Andy can as
infernal.
well.
Yeah, I think I did say it was infernal, but you know, they can speak both. And in this instance, they seem to be commanding the smaller snakes. And they say, "That must be the interlopers. They've already sabotaged Draxis and Mulgaritan." And she seems to command them forwards. "Make sure they never reach Brimtronus or Sincalda." And at this, they begin to surge their way forward. And the rest of you guys can start to move around. I guess Shadowstorm gets across this bridge real quick. Says to stay close. You need to be within 30 feet. And you're just standing there at the moment, Eirina, yes?
Yeah, I'm sort of like, almost like pacing backwards and forwards just along this ledge,
Okay.
doing a very dramatic reading.
And
Well,
Taklo's
before
just
these
nodding
two-
along.
Far better thing than I do now.
Before
I
they
see,
get all
fire.
the way, before they get all the way up to you, you start to see these two salamanders reeling back, and they seem to be about to toss their spears in your direction.
If we're reaching that point, that's the point where I start to move back towards the tunnel, ready to like bolt.
Okay. Tell you what then. You're gonna have to give me an initiative check, Eirina. And one of them is gonna get to go before you, kind of lurches out of the lava and lands onto a stable bit of ground and tosses this as hard as they can. But from that distance, you are able to actually out-dodge and slams into the rock next to you. Let me just check. 2 with its spear.
Seems they don't
Just
like
gonna
your
snatch
reading
them.
very much.
It's just going to snatch the spear off the other one and toss that too. Curses.
I'm now going to start to
They
sort of narrate like the part of the war in the book where it's kind of like he threw his mighty spear and, you know, it went sailing through the air. It's very dramatic.
Oh, that's not what's happening right
Seems to
now.
only-
What a coincidence.
Specifically chosen for this moment.
Ah,
Okay. At this, then you want to try and get away, right? You just start to
Yeah,
fly
this is where
off
I'm going to
on
start
the
heading
glaive.
towards my tunnel.
Okay. You fly off on the top of the glaive. Tackler's like, wait up. Catches up.
I thought
Perches
Shadow
on your
Storm had the
shoulder.
claim.
no, I was gonna.
No.
I gave you the. I was gonna give you the glaive, so you had the extra movement to be
Oh,
able to
Okay, cool.
escape better, just in case these moved faster than you did.
Got it.
Well,
Cool.
they do dash, that's for sure, and they start to wriggle their way up the side. But I think you're
That's
able
fine.
to
I can
just
put my
easily
movement up
outpace
as
them.
well, right? Not just...
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, up is the optimal choice.
Yeah, so I've moved
But-
10 feet along the wall and then I'll go up the rest.
Give me an insight check, Eirina. Or you know what? The rest of you as well. You're seeing this. You can all roll insights. Since you also have a way to communicate to them, you might be able to offer this information. Llyvelin 23. Okay. It's looking like the best. Andy definitely succeeds as well with an 18. So both Llyvelin and Andy, you notice that as soon as Eirina begins to take up and into the air with the glaive, almost all of them immediately give up the chase. And you can see that they're gonna like, it's that moment when you see them sort of slowing their gait as they're running, or in this case slithering, and then they seem to sort of just have their arms lower down to their sides as if like, damn, there's nothing we can do about that. And it's at that point they would start to just slow down and stop.
They're gonna stop and turn around. She needs to not elevate herself.
I will communicate that by Tacklo. Now considering, do I want to do this? Be a 5th level, but it would slow them down getting back.
I think they might chase her again
Okay.
if she goes back to the floor.
Right. Eirina, you get that information from Karius.
Okay,
As well,
if
like-
that's the case, I'm going to get Tacklo to fly up a little bit higher and dislodge maybe a rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get him to, air quotes, hit me with it. And then I'm going to, like, missteer the glaive and sort of, like, almost like crash down somewhere. I'm going to fly
Okay.
erratically, kind of like above them.
Crash landing.
It definitely sounds like a performance check to
Sure, I
make
can
out
try that.
you're crashing. 17, not bad. Okay. They suddenly see the opportunity as their eyes go wide as you sort of spiral out of the air, and you're like, no. Tackler's like, no, we're going down, Mayday!
No!
And yeah, you hear kind of a crash, a skid in the ash, and suddenly a kind of clang as the trident impacts the side of a rock.
Do the
And
others
suddenly
get any
they
movement too?
the others, yeah, they I'm thinking where to go here, because like you say, there's things to hop over here. Shadowstorm and Tidal Wave can make it no problem. They jump, leap, and land on this side. others?
I think I can with
Oh, the
15, right? Would get me 15 feet, which I think covers that. Though the other
up to you.
option.
They seem to be going this way for whatever reason.
Yeah, why
You
are
know-
they going that way?
You know what?
Shadowstorm sends a
Well-
message to you in a whisper, Llyvelin. Can't you see? There's a really cool axe up there. Tidal wave's like, really? Shadowstorm right now? Shh, keep down, Tidal wave. Don't you shot me.
I'm putting my life on the line, and this guy wants to go get an axe that's in the middle of the room.
Because of the lava, Chris, would you
Yeah.
say, like with thermal currents, would you say there's a natural updraft at the moment? Not to actually do anything, but just like, so if there was suddenly a bit more of an updraft, it potentially wouldn't be too suspicious in our shadowy area, right?
Essentially.
Because in order to facilitate this, I am going to
Control winds.
Yep, control winds.
And
To
does
take-
that help you jump from rock to
Yep.
rock?
It gives you a 10-foot high jump height if I do an updraft. Which is what I would be
Wow.
doing. Ignore the strength save, because I think that's defaulting to downdraft, I think.
Yeah.
So,
It is. Okay.
but yeah, so in that area there is now an updraft.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it causes sustained updraft in the cube. Creatures that enter fall within the cube take only half as much damage. When a creature in the cube makes a vertical jump, they jump up to 10 feet higher than normal.
Okay, that'll definitely solve the issue of jumping here.
Okay, thank God.
You might want to up it a little bit to here. Just so
Yeah,
you
I
get
can
the
do
last
that.
jump in.
Yep.
All right. And then no damage went off. That's good. All right. So, yeah, tidal wave, Shadowstorm, you see them suddenly leap up even higher, and
Yeah, jump
Shadowstorm
across.
looks around behind. If you don't catch up, you'll leave the darkness.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's no rules required with that thing going on.
Yep.
And tidal wave's like, Shadowstorm, you've already got a +3 longsword. What do you need an axe for?
Why?
I mean,
I swear to
dude.
God, if he blows our cover, I'm gonna kill him myself.
59.
He's got pretty high on his stealth check. He's
We're gonna have to follow him. That's the thing. He is the.
he is, yeah. Oh, there's a set of stairs around this way. Quick.
He's working for the primordial, isn't he? This is actually it. He's working for the primordial. This whole time.
No, it's definitely Shadowstorm. Tidal wave says
does the
no one
axe
could
look
be
cool?
this. No primordial could be this stupid.
I don't know
Shadowstorm
that.
does sneak up to the edge of the axe, and it's like, oh, it's like stuck in the stone. I'll have to dislodge it. Yeah, I guess you'll roll an athletics check. Fuck's sake. Oh yeah, okay. He easily manages to get it out.
Are you happy now?
That said, as it kind of like cracks away from the stone, there is certainly some movement from down below. The two little fiery snakes have been held back, and the monarch is still here. The question is, what do you plan to do to get past them? Are you simply trying to sneak all the way around?
Wouldn't the
Like,
idea be to have gone this way and then come
Okay.
around? I would have thought.
Yeah.
around? Okay. All right.
Yeah. Right, you've
Guess
got
we'll
your
go back
you've
that
got
way.
your axe. If it's a fire elemental axe, I may have to steal it off of you. I'm kind of collecting elemental weapons at this point. Got like Shadowfell. I've got Earth Plane. I need a fire one. I think I got a water one too.
Okay.
Actually, thinking about it.
Shadowstorm jumps down to here then. This jump looks
Yep.
really precarious from here to down to here, but you're on a higher ledge,
Yep.
and certainly you can jump even higher now, so you'd probably make it down. That said,
Yep.
I'm going to actively search for you now with these three.
Yep.
They seem to think something is up, especially what with this of updraft. It's a little suspicious. They're not just immediately like, it must be enemies, but nonetheless, they begin a search.
Somebody
got the-
had baked beans for dinner. That's what
Exactly.
What was the lowest?
It's like
Oh,
26 or something.
It
25.
was.
Yeah, it was 20.
very low.
Either way,
very
it was
high.
25. Well, Eirina
Okay.
technically, but they went hiding.
They seem to peer out towards this area, and fire snakes have gone towards the sound of that. They seem to have been distracted and gone off in the wrong direction. And as they kind of worm their way up, they do seem to locate the area where there is a missing axe, and they seem to tilt their heads. These even speak. Yep, primordial ignan. Meanwhile, Eirina, you're still skirting away. Sorry, you want to say something, James?
Yeah, I was going to say, as they go to speak, now that we're across, can I change the direction of the wind so it sort of blows against them to try to basically muffle their words, essentially? You know, because they'd be basically shouting against a gale.
Okay, that will.
Or would that be
That will
too
potentially-
suspicious?
The gale, it would definitely muffle their words. I'll say that's cool.
Yeah.
But it would also mean that this wind suddenly kind of takes on a bit of an unnatural state.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
true.
either you can
Nah,
either basically
We'll keep
bank
it
on
at
their
this.
intelligence being low, or keep
We'll
it at
keep it
that.
at
That
this.
was the correct choice because they're actually pretty good at Arcana. But anyway, they can instead roll a perception check, which was really bad. Yeah, they don't hear shit. They just see this kind of
I'm
Oh,
just
rather
that
they
annoying.
they are looking out and they seem to be thinking to themselves like, that's the anthem of fire. Strange. It's been years since we've been on a battlefield, melting the enemies of the Sultan. Still, at this point, she is clearly none the wiser as this strange ashy cloud sneaks up around behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys can head on in, I guess.
Yep.
Right. Should probably let Eirina know if possible that we're here and going in.
She is out of my range, and I think she's out of the message range. So, but she probably would be. No matter where we were, we'd have had to do it like.
Yeah, you'd have to do it a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Probably once we've got the axe, it's like, right, we're going for the portal now. Get ready. You'll see the ash cloud disappear.
Eirina, you're seeing the two salamanders catch up to you.
Mm-hmm.
On their approach, they picked up their spears again,
Yep.
and now they're kind of up on the ridge.
Mhm.
What do you do?
With my exceptional eyesight, do I notice any disturbance with the portal?
If you've gone down from, where did you go? Like down from the ridge on the other side, or are you kind of circling around?
I'm kind of like circling around.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, my flying is erratic because I'm lost control. Air quotes.
Roll me a perception check, but it's gonna be hard to spot them.
That's fine. I kind of expect that. It's just the off chance that I know they're in safe, but.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh!
22. Did anyone get below a 22 on their stealth check?
No.
Oh, no.
But I'm
No,
looking at the
okay,
door,
then.
not at them.
I know, but then the door seems to suddenly be shrouded by that cloud
Okay.
of ash.
Okay.
Well, I guess that would be a tip off, but still, the chances are they would have made it in by now, just given the length of time. In fact, you would expect them to be in sooner if they hadn't gone for the axe.
Okay, I'm at least
Anyway.
gonna like look down at the guys and go, could you at least let me finish my story?
Yeah, I want to hear the end before I die.
They say
The
we
ending
have
is really good.
orders."
I
Oh, do you
mean,
speak Ignan?
Uh,
You have no idea what they're saying.
No, I
You have
don't.
no idea.
I
They
speak
just
5
turn to
languages,
you.
and Ignan's not one of them.
They aggressively roar in your face.
I roar too, and then I fly out the room.
And Taklo will project the image of pouring water over their heads into their brains with elements of telepathy.
What? Some of the fire snakes maybe squirm a little, but the salamanders do push on, and I think one of them is gonna still get, at just this instant,
Yeah.
another round of disadvantage spears.
Sure.
But as you take up into the air, woof, you feel it kind of woof, woof, two things fly past your ear, and you manage to avoid them. But that was with flat as well, actually. Dang, you got real close actually, but you're good. You managed to nimbly evade them on the glaive and fly up and out of reach at this point.
Yeah.
You can see they definitely give up the chase, especially now seeing it's also just one of you, because they're on the ridge and looking around to see if there's any more like suspicious activity, and they can see it's just you, and they definitely start to return back to their post. But
And I literally just like, I can see I chose the wrong audience, but you've been an excellent one. Goodbye. And I fly out the tunnel and dimension door.
Okay. For the rest of you guys, there is a blistering heat coming from this doorway. It looks magical, but it definitely feels like it has the same sort of heat as the lava itself.
I guess
Neat.
we go through.
Do you want me to go first? As I'm naturally I suppose we're all resistant to heat at the moment, so meh.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter.
That is true, you are.
Well, I guess if you feel like you need to, in terms of the whole redeeming.
I
Against
mean,
the
I was
primordial
just
thing?
thinking I'm also probably the hardest to hit as well if there's something on the other side that just attacks us instantly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Karius will step through with their adamantine shield held up to see what's on the other side.
Okay. Just as that's happening, Eirina, you're going to appear right inside the pass without trace with Dimension Door. I need you to roll a stealth check, and I'm going to say with disadvantage on this instance. Unless, of course, you want to be spotted. The Salamander Monarch is like right in front of you.
Ooh.
Wow, okay.
Nat 20.
So
But that wasn't
that'll
the,
do it.
it was disadvantage, so. it
Still
was
an
the other one.
18, though.
That's the exact roll I got earlier, 18 and 20 with the disadvantage.
I guess Dimension Door only makes sound where you are standing, since you have to speak the words and then you step through. But it doesn't make any sound on the other side. You just simply step out and into this shadowy ash.
Or in my instance,
And
fly out. So I'm not even touching the floor.
Right, that's true. Not even touching the floor. You see Eirina silently emerge out of thin air. And the monarch is with their back turned to you right now as she looks to be calling out in Ignan to the others, like, "What's going on? Report immediately." And they're heading this way and looking in your direction. So You guys
Yeah.
are jumping through the portal.
Yep.
All right.
Mm.
Let's
Let's
see
jump
here.
through.
Boop-doo.
Oh,
Is it this map? I think it's
there.
this one.
Inside
Oh yeah, this
calendar.
is the one.
I have no. Okay. Oh.
Okay. All right. As you step through, first of all, there is a blistering heat, which is going to deal 10 points of fire damage to everyone who steps through it. And it's halved if you're resistant.
Ooh.
So,
Oh,
I'll
no.
apply the 5 to me.
No.
okay.
5
Oh,
to me.
5 to
the-
Llyvelin,
There you go. Thank you.
5 to Tidal Wave,
I've applied my
10 to
5.
Eirina,
I've just done mine.
5 to Kesh'an, I think.
Yep.
And Andy, 5 to
5 to Andy.
her. There you go. All right.
And
And
Taklo will just
Taklo.
go, right.
Taklo.
Taklo just goes, bye. And just bamps. Thank you.
Okay. All right. As you step through, yeah, you enter into a cavernous interior. Immediately, the heat feels intense, 10 times more intense than what it was outside. And you feel your lungs being choked with that kind of smoke and ash, the same as before. But the necklaces of adaptation is helping immensely in this. All around you are the scattered remains of bones and creatures that have been charred to a crisp. Amongst them is a massive, gargantuan dragon, its spine forming a bridge across a river of lava, its skull resting atop a pile of bones, as though its final struggle and fight took out an army with it. Around the remains are a few skittering creatures. They seem to be playing around in the lava and picking through the bones. They are more of the magmans you've seen earlier. And occasional patrols of magma mephits seem to swoop around over the spine and in betwixt the wings that span that lake. And yeah, that's what you see.
And now Tidal Wave, or Shadow Storm, you hit across the dragon skeleton, or do we go round?
I'm not sure. This place is massive. It feels like it's bigger on the inside.
I thought things
And
that were bigger
yeah,
on the
sure
inside
enough.
had to be blue in color.
Huh? Talking about strange letterboxes or something? Or phone booths?
Yeah, I've heard stories. Not even sure what a
Okay.
phone booth
I
is,
heard-
but I've heard stories.
I
We
heard that one too. Let's try and use the most of this and sneak past them.
Yeah, let's
Don't
continue.
have to deal with an undead dragon.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. Or whatever that thing is.
Really, really cool looking
yeah.
skull. I would love to have that on my mantle. That should,
Oh.
if we have time, we should take that and mount that to the front of the airship.
Speaking of the
Eirina
skull,
is
if you
like
wish,
trying to really silently have a fangirl moment. Look at this like dead dragon skeleton. She's just like, "Ah."
well, you can give me a check of some kind to identify the skull.
Yeah,
It'd
Llyvelin
probably
would
be more. You can use history or arcana for this.
Llyvelin would probably want to know what this is in terms of would it be useful for the book? So
Should be
could I
right.
jump in on that as well?
How do you think
No.
you're gonna fit a skull inside?
Well, no, a piece of a dragon, depending on what type of dragon it is. I put a dragon heart in before. But what if
You are crazy. What did you get on your intelligence? 21? Okay. Yeah. All right. Seems like Llyvelin has done a bit of studying. They are. You can tell by the way the horns splay out at the side, and then zigzag backwards. The two kind of frills on the top. This is a copper dragon.
Ooh.
So not very valuable then.
Or at least. Hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what your conclusion is with that 9.
What do you think? Would bones of any kind be useful to you, or is it just organs and flesh that
Oh,
you?
Grimoire. Grimoire says, I suppose you could snap off a little bit, a couple of fragments, but really, that's not going to fit inside.
Hmm.
I
Hey,
don't know
what?
what this creature did to come here, why they would enter into this place. How it even fit through the door is another question.
Yeah, unless it lived here somehow. Weird.
It's not making a lot of sense. Well, actually, dragons can polymorph themselves into something smaller. Perhaps
True.
that's how they walked in.
True. True. Huh.
Mhm.
What an incredible copper dragon, Llyvelin says out loud. Well, in a whisper.
Okay.
I see that a few people are pondering on it. For those
I'll
that
say, give me another round of stealth checks, and this is just for this particular map. As you're crossing over the skeletal spine, there is some burbling and bubbling underneath the river. It almost looks
Wait.
like something's kind of squirming down underneath there.
Wait. Would
And we'll see if it's
Would you?
disturbed by your presence.
I don't know, when you have not moved for 1 minute. That rope of shadows just seems entirely pointless. I swear.
19? 19?
the lowest is Shadow Storm themselves. Is it? No, I'll carry it.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
you're
for
going to
21.
alerting anything in the river. Sneaking past all these encounters, and the magmen seem too preoccupied picking through the bones. Yep. Once again, you're able to safely make it across, and you time it such that you avoid one of these patrols of magmins that do fly over the skeletal creature. In which case, you're led into the next part. Let's see. There is a tunnel that extends on from this dragon. I believe. Should be this one right here. Yep. Okay, perfect. All right. It's
The ritual
about
stone?
now. Well, I'll say about now. The spell it only lasts what? Oh no, it lasts an hour. Okay, never mind. Shadowstorm keeps that pass without trace. Keeps it going. No problem. Up ahead, as you emerge from this tunnel, you see a stone bridge connecting to a platform with a strange square-like altar on it. Not like the other ones. It doesn't seem to be circular or even covered with the same aberration runes. Aberration? Abjuration. But you can see the stone walkway then splits in two different directions, and there are stone archways that lead into different sections of this volcanic
Yeah.
cavern.
Left or
And
right,
again,
I
like
guess.
it still feels like this place is a maze. Like just keeps on going deeper and larger and bizarre how massive it is on the interior. But nonetheless, Shadowstone will head over towards it.
It all followed to stay in the outside a trace.
There's some sort of inscription here.
Yeah.
Looks like it was once a tablet or something.
I'm guessing is it worn away a bit, or
It is. You can see there's damage to the corner as well, as well as there's like a crack that's fissured all the way through it.
can I try to cast mending on it?
Yes, yes, you can.
Man, so let's see if I can call on a bit of Riley's magic here and see if I can fix this thing.
Okay.
You start probably just pull some water out from their thing and just starts focusing that into it.
Do we know what
Hmm.
sort of language this is?
This looks
From what we-
very old. Druidic, perhaps.
Oh, druid.
And, yep. Thankfully, you have 2 druids with you, but once this tablet is fixed, it looks pristine now. Maybe minus these roots, you can see this piece of art. I'll drag it into the chat so you can see it bigger. But
Okay, there's a big eye, and there's what I assume to be our big primordial friend.
Indeed. Hold on. Relic. There you go. This is what you see. Yeah. There is indeed what looks to be like some kind of eye in the center of this. It's like an amber jewel, and there's a depiction of a 4-headed hydra atop this relic. And as you begin to repair the writings as well, you can see inscriptions that point in different directions. And one of them on the left is pointing towards that archway, and it says Brimtronus. And the other points towards Sin Calder on the right. So you can infer as to where these different tunnels do lead.
So both
There's
of
more.
both of the ritual sites are here because the volcanoes are connected.
Mm,
One going left and one going right. Interesting.
yep.
We don't have to travel
And-
to the fourth one.
Well, there are 4.
Yeah, well, I'm saying we've done 2, but the other 2
Mhm.
are here. We've had to
They
travel
are here in
between
the interior.
each of them, but at this
Definitely.
point, these 2 are somewhat together.
Which one do we
So-
want to try first?
There's more. There's more on this mural as well. An ancient tablet seems to have the inscription around the base as well, and it says, well, Shadowstone will kind of read it and says, beneath the mountain, a heart of flame, a beast of ash, a name untamed, 4 heads to rule, 16 to burn. Only the deep may bid it turn. And Shadowstorm looks around and says, the preservers of the deep. This must be left by our ancestors, Tidal Wave. They go, really? Wait. They were here then. Yeah, of course they were. They were the ones who imprisoned them. Like, all right, yeah, sure. Don't be smart with me. Anyway, they stop their bickering and say, so they must have left this as a mural to inform others.
I mean by the 16-bit.
Shadowstorm says, well, as you remember, when they poisoned the Hydra, it split. They separated all 4 heads.
Oh, but then
into
each
their-
grew 4 heads.
Yes.
Right.
So there are technically 4 four-headed hydras. One for each element. Here is the 4 heads of fire.
Wait, so in order
So-
to fully seal this thing up, we would need to travel to other places to seal the 4 heads of water, earth, and air?
No,
Well,
I think
tidal wave. Sorry, go on.
so far each of these that we've been sealing up is a hydra of their own with 4 heads. So we've dealt with 2 potential 4-headed hydras coming out, and then the next 2 are 2 4-headed hydras. That's my guess.
Tidal
anyway.
wave says, we already dealt with one of them. That damn watery thing before we got sent to the Feywild, remember? Ah, it was like a kraken-like creature. We were fighting it beneath the waves. And me and Shadowstorm nearly drowned. But we were swallowed up by some sort of giant fish before we could help the rest of our allies. But I can only hope they succeeded. Otherwise, the world would be beneath the waves right now. It would have been a mass flooding, tsunamis, you name it.
So I am right in that there's well, you faced the water one you said, but that would suggest there's 2 other elemental hydras out there.
They nod. And Shadowstorm says, yes. And if we go via the planes of existence surrounding the material plane, that would leave Earth and
Air.
air. There is 4 four-headed hydras. Oh no, not fire ones. God no. No, there are 4 four-headed ones though.
Alright. Okay, so once we've dealt with this one, you 2 will be off to try to fix the air and water ones. Air and earth ones,
Well-
wherever they might be.
We need to regroup with the preservers of the deep wherever they've been up till now. I suppose last we saw them was off the coast of Thumbridge, I think. Wasn't very specified where they were. I think it was just out in the open ocean, really, somewhere far and remote.
Hopefully they didn't get swept up into the moor.
Indeed. Guess the question now is, which one do we want to tackle first? Speaking of tackling, where's Tackler?
I bamped them away because I don't think they could stand the heat, so I took them out the kitchen.
I see. Yeah. Starting to get a bit of a sweat on myself here.
Yeah, so left or right? Anyone got any preference?
In Malone's famous words, go left.
Right, left it is. Let's follow Malone's words, and then
Yeah.
and if they're wrong, I can laugh at them later.
Left way's the right way.
Llyvelin, you notice this as you begin to turn down the left tunnel. You see the amber eye on the relic follows your movements.
Well, that's not creepy at all. The
Now that I would be interested in.
ooh,
You hear Grimoire.
We
Of
need
course,
to
it
go
would
back.
mean prying it out of a priceless relic, but you know, that's up to you.
what would I get for it?
A question I can only answer once it's inside. Hidden knowledge, secrets, whatever these ancestors of the deep were, They were clearly powerful druids, able to seal in primordials. Perhaps they have a way to invoke that.
On second thought, we're performing a very sophisticated ritual here to trap a primordial. And if each of these pedestals we're trying to do this ritual on is tied to that one in the middle, maybe potentially doing something that might free a primordial isn't the best option.
I don't see any magical runes on this. This is more of like a little signpost.
Does anything about it seem magical? Or
It's the
There-
ring
there-
doorbell.
yeah, before I
There are no abjuration runes over the relic. From what you can see, at least. There's nothing magical about it, unless you did detect magic. You'd have to confirm that with that, but the eye definitely seems unusual.
guys, that pedestal's watching us, and it's very concerning. Is there any chance we could remove the eye from it?
Do we need to remove it, or can we just cover it?
I think removing it and storing it in a liminal space like a bag of holding might be safer.
I mean, I suppose the thing is, it would be up to Tidalwave and Shadowstorm. It's their ancestral relic-y thing.
They look around as you're saying this.
So, have you got much of a
What
tie?
eye? And then Tidalwave says like, freaky. The hell? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, can we
Shadowstorm just seems to like,
get rid of that then? Well, not rid of, but remove it.
I don't know what it's for, but it is weirdly watching us.
Exactly. And ideally in the weird.
I would err on the side of caution, however. Maybe seal them first. Let's stick to our main objective.
Take that as a
Yeah,
reward for after or something for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. My concern was like if it's watching us and whatever it is sends reinforcements, it knows where we're going.
I mean, it was broken before we mended it, right? So
What's the problem if it's broken again?
well, what I'm saying is they're obviously not paying too close attention to it, so maybe it's irrelevant to them. So
Yeah.
you're okay to come back later.
Sure.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Says you make a good point. If it was broken before, we can break it again.
I mean, if you want me to break it again, I can.
Where Shadowstorm just says, just cover it and let's move on. But it's up to you guys, really. They offer conflicting opinions. As per usual.
I'm gonna go
Like,
pop
aren't
it.
you guys like the watchers or whatever? Maybe that's what the eye's there for. It's watching out for no good mix.
I'm gonna go pop.
Well, yes, I suppose.
Right.
But
It doesn't seem to be stopping us.
It looks more serpentine, if I'm honest.
And it definitely doesn't look like there's any sort of runes around the pedestal or anything that would that
You can give me one more perception check just to be sure.
perception. Bit of those. 27.
The only thing you can make out is there is a long running inscription around the side, which I've read. However, there are other areas where it's just sort of like a scribbled line. How to explain this? It looks like there's more to this mural, and it's not that it's damaged. It's just that this is only part one of a longer inscription. And so they only bothered to carve in this section with those 4 lines. The rest of the inscription is sort of just like a dotted, like dashed, scribbled line to infer that there is more to it, but it's just not here. Other than that, there are no runes over this thing.
Feel like this is bait And if I wasn't such a chaos gremlin, I wouldn't do this. I'm gonna try and pop the eye.
Okay. You'd need some sort of tool to like pry it from the stone, or if you want to just shatter it, you can do that too.
No. Oh no. Then where my eye got popped, I'll just try and
With a
use it
spoon.
with a dagger and a spoon.
God damn. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to give
Karius
me
just
like a sleight of hand.
yeah, Karius just holds up the mounting cracker in case it's needed.
I have first-hand experience in removing an eye. Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Sleight
not
of
good at
hand.
sleight of hand. 13? That's not bad. 13's
Anyone
not
able to
bad.
help him out?
Kirstie's just gone to loot, but can Andy use her jeweler's tools?
Yes, they can. That would be perfect for this. It seems like Llewellyn's getting nowhere with the spoon.
She just sort of rolls her eyes, sighs, and comes over and like shoves Llyvelin out of the way with an elbow.
Well, no, I'm trying to prod it up with the end of a dagger to get a spoon underneath. I was like, that's how my eye was removed.
Except it's not fleshy, Llewellyn. It's much more, like I said, amber-like. And as soon as you... Oh dear.
I don't...
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Is
Only
that
an
right?
8.
Why isn't... It doesn't come under her tool proficiencies for some reason. I had to find it in her inventory.
Yeah, that's correct. You roll a skill with the tool. So
What
you
is her
just
sleight
click
of
the
hand
tool
anyway?
like that. That's what you'd usually do.
Yeah, but her sleight of hand is a plus 13.
Roll that. Should have rolled that then. What was dice? 3 plus 13, so a 16. That's more like it. All right. So a 16 is just barely enough, and it's only because of the right tools for the job. It is indeed like removing a gem from a socketed piece of jewelry. And yeah, out pops this amber-like eye. And as soon as you do, you see the eye kind of look around, suddenly a little bit frantic, perhaps. And then it seems to squint, if it could squint. I guess the iris can. Seems to focus in on Andy as it's looking directly at them. And Andy can feel an immense amount of heat rising inside the amber.
I open the bag. It's like, do you want to pop it in?
Yes, but under the condition that it is mine.
Wait, but we'll talk
I
about
got
this.
it out.
I started the job. We'll talk about it when we're not in a fiery volcano full of death.
It is shiny. And I did the work.
Mine.
And Kirstie's back now, so she can take back over.
Right. Do you drop it in the bag for now while it's
in the bag for
heating
now.
up in hand? Yeah.
In the bag of holding, or are you...
The bag of holding, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to fight over this.
The book is also going to fight over this. And Grimoire is going to pop out.
What?
Of your... Yep. He's going to actually appear as a
He has no
token on the map.
Like me, he has no patience.
Yep. And you see them reaching up with a small tentacle, trying to grasp the eye. I've only got one eye. I need another, Llyvelin.
It's your turn.
Can I slap the tentacle?
Yes, you can. It's slimy and rubbery and suckerless.
Yeah, can I also slap the tentacle? Wait.
You see them drop to the floor, pick themselves back up with their tentacles, starts moving around independently of Llyvelin.
Why are they so
Llyvelin,
antsy?
maybe you should put that thing on a leash.
Yeah. I don't know why he's so antsy all of a sudden. We remove an eye
Says
from a tab.
telepathic. He says telepathically to you, Llyvelin, like, "What do you mean? You know he was getting it for me. We had a deal, remember?"
Yeah, but it's really suspicious right now. The whole point was
Oh, come on. They know
Not
at
the-
this rate.
not
You
the
haven't
time and the
animated.
place.
Ah, fine.
We hurry up,
Just-
please. We've kind of
Yeah,
got fire hydras to seal away.
Just
Yeah.
back on my back. Come on. And I like put my hand out for the Grimoire to climb back up my arm.
Okay, they climb back out.
Amber,
Creepiest parrot ever.
I creepiest parrot ever.
Progenitor's. You can put Progenitor's eye. Alright, this time we'll copy you guys, bring you to
The progenitor.
Anyway, Progenitor's eye, yeah. Oh,
Thanks,
boy.
Andy. We'll fight or gamble over
Okay.
this at some point, probably.
Yes, and I will win.
You definitely went left. That's
Yeah.
Brimturnus then. Okay.
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 Good thing is,
Alright.
I don't see any enemies. I see a lot of statues.
Don't say that. You're only asking for trouble.
Stone statues plus big glowing eyes. That's never good.
Yeah. And I'm sure this is going to be
Okay.
hell. There's going to be loads of enemies then, Andy.
Inside this chamber, as you emerge from that left tunnel, you are met with what I was actually forgetting to say in the recap, and that was that the Salamander Monarch had said that they had already began to manifest. And indeed, as you look upon this wall of this volcanic structure, you see what looks to be a resembling draconic-looking face pushing its way out of the rock, and molten is sort of glowing from its eye sockets. You can even start to see making out like nostrils and such. This thing
Yeah.
is like literally emerging from the magma.
I think I see what I'm
Slowly.
gonna do. I have a weapon called a mountain cracker for a reason. Or I could use the geode flail. But either one.
Oh,
In the just below that head, as it's emerging, you see another one of the altars. This one's similar, abjuration runes with another sort of several circles of reinforcement. And then, strangely and bizarrely, all around this altar, there are ashen-like statues that seem to be in a pose or posture of prayer, or they're prostrating themselves beneath this creature, or before the altar. Actually, you can definitely make them out as if they're pointing more towards the face rather than the altar itself. And similarly, there's more stone-like statues that seem to be guarding this sort of walkway up towards the altar.
Alright. What's the betting we get attacked by statues?
That or it's like the cockatrices and we get turned into statues.
Yep.
Neither's too good.
All of the statues are armed as well, you can tell.
Yeah.
so
Looks like the ones sort of kneeling down are holding like swords
Do any of
into
them
the earth.
like have anything that might resemble anything that like Tidal Wave and Shadowstorm are kind of wearing?
Yeah, you'll need to get closer and investigate. But that's a good question. But from here, you're like 80 feet away.
Let's
Yes,
try to get a bit closer and
Oh, no, better idea. Andy, you still have that spyglass, right?
Yes.
Take a look-see.
Okay. Digs around the bag, gets the spyglass out.
Okay, you can make me a perception check, Andy.
I spy with my little eye.
And a spyglass, I think, gives you advantage on perception checks as well from
I'll roll that again.
long distance.
Oh, even better! She sees all!
Okay, that's much better. Yeah. Okay, so looking over these statues and then back towards tidal wave, and then back towards statues, the only thing that seems to bear any kind of resemblance is there is a tattoo on Shadowstorm's head. If we show the art, we'll see it. And it has a very, very similar sort of design over their clothing, or even indeed over their heads themselves. It seems to be a tribal tattoo that has been passed down through generations. That does seem to match theirs. Yes.
They have like the same scribbly lines on their outfit or heads, but otherwise, no. But I guess possibly tribesmen, judging from that.
Tribesmen?
But they don't look. I mean, they don't look like them either way. Just wiggly things.
Shadowstorm sort of puts his hand to his own head and then begins to kind of scratch it and then goes, "But the legend goes that our kind would be wiped out in a destructive wave every time these creatures awakened. I thought that the ones who last imprisoned this creature would have survived."
Oh no. It might be one of those rituals that takes those as a sacrifice.
Well, nice knowing you guys.
Either way, I would
Tidalwave
smash
says-
that dragon's face.
Tidalwave says, "Why didn't I get any of those tattoos?" Shadowstorm sort of shrugs. "I don't know. I thought it was something only my clan did, but..." Shadowstorm admits, "I will say, Tidalwave, before I joined the Preservers of the Deep, I was part of what I thought was sort of an offshoot clan, a different tribe. Apparently somewhat of the last of my kind, but I never really knew the full story. I just, when I found the Preservers of the Deep, assumed that they were my people. I remember the stories growing up from my parents about powerful primordial creatures. I just figured the Preservers of the Deep were the same tribe. That's why I joined."
What was the name of this offshoot tribe, just in case that helps?
They were called something to do with elements. No, where is it? I'm gonna have to find it in my own notes. Element.
And I suppose you're
Something to do with
definitely,
elements, I guess.
your people were definite that you were with before definitely were the type to try to seal things away and not to try to wake them up, right?
He raises an eyebrow. I'm not sure. The stories only spoke of these creatures, their power, their destructive potential. I didn't learn about the sealing ritual until I joined the Preservers of the Deep.
Mm-hmm. But these look like your people, not necessarily the Preservers of the Deep, so we don't really know exactly what they were here for. Like maybe... Oh god, there's more statues.
Yes, there are. It's going to end.
Wait, there's also another tunnel.
Indeed, there is another tunnel as well. As you come around the corner, you spot it. It's guarded by 2 more statues. And when you get closer, you start to see these statues do look less like they're made of stone and more like they are made of ash. Suppose anyone who wants to roll a nature check can ascertain as to what's going on here.
Yeah, let's see if I picked up anything.
That 20? Okay.
Makes more sense as well.
Did someone say
Eirina,
ash?
especially as you're looking over Eirina. You were given a big, long disciplinary about how fire works and intense heat and burning after you burned down the library. And you were told to look up all the terrible things that fire can do to people to educate yourself. One of them is when a volcano goes off.
This is...
Anyone caught in a pyroclastic flow can be instantly petrified and turned into this kind of ashen-like form. If you've seen the statues of Pompeii, I think it is, right?
Yep.
Then
From
you
Vesuvius, yeah.
Mount Vesuvius exploded and left ashen corpses in its wake, and the petrified victims are still like in their death throes, like the last moments in that pose, basically. It's pretty gruesome, pretty grim, and yeah, this looks very similar.
Well, all I can say is it must have been really unpleasant for these guys.
Yeah, let's try not to end up like these. Probably not the best.
So basically they were baked to death.
Yeah, I would say 2 things. Either 1, petrification, so don't look this thing in the eyes. Or number 2, it spews lava, so in which case, stay away from its mouth.
So either petrification or vitrification. Gotcha.
Oh, just don't go near it at all.
Well, we kind of have to. If you can see where the altar is, we got to get up there.
Do we have to?
Unless you want a 4-headed Hydra running rampant across Midra, yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially 2, actually, if you think about it, because this is just 1 head.
I'm just beginning to think, is there not another group of adventurers who can do this stuff as well?
I gesture to the statues.
Yeah,
They were the last group of adventurers, clearly.
Yeah, but we blatantly failed. We've always succeeded.
Exactly why we're here.
I think that's the point, yes.
In which case, this could be some sort of...
They say if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself.
I've never heard that phrase before.
Well, it is a phrase.
What about the common phrase of, if you want something done, then hire the Kiasters? Midra knows that by now.
Technically,
Well-
we weren't hired. We're doing this.
For free.
Yeah.
We got
Totally
a cool,
realizing that.
Well,
know
you got the cool eye, and Shadowstorm's going to give us that axe once we're done. So
Tidal Wave says, I've got 200 gold on me. You can have that afterwards. And a potion of... Oh, I've got a lot of potions too. Potion of mind reading, dust of dryness, potion of invisibility, heroism, and poison.
yeah. This
okay, potion of invisibility might be good for getting you up close.
Plus, Andy, think of it this way. It's a cool tale that you can write a song about, and once Midra knows that you saved them again from such a thing,
Which is actually quite funny because the minute we walked into this room, Kirstie started humming the Firebird suite to herself.
yeah, this everyone will love you. They will want to see the amazing Andy.
I suppose. And then I
Hello.
can reap them for all the money they have.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they'll erupt in applause.
You won't even need a cool amber eye after we're
Let's
done.
maybe not tell your dad, though, yeah?
Yeah, we'll leave him out of this one. I will just make sure he has a nice cushy home.
I can just imagine him losing all his hair.
Well, between that and the dragon.
True.
Okay. So it's probably gonna attack us if we get close, but I'm wondering if it's currently in an awake enough state to recognize someone, or if it's just sensing like it's not a fire elemental coming at me.
So, being Delphi might not even help.
No, but if I can get close, I might be able to give it a good whack. So what I'm thinking is if I disguise my aura to be like a fire elemental, maybe it won't detect me as a threat as I get close, so it won't attack me until after I've attacked it. Just an idea. I don't have a lot of ideas for this. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty much everything I can do at this moment would be hitting it really hard.
Yeah. Well, gonna try something, and I feel like we're on the clock a bit. So
Yeah. You know what? Actually, if we're going into this, the most likely people to be doing attacks or doing something that's going to require a save, I'm going to say is probably you, us three. So let's actually no, Kesh'an doesn't need it. Andy, why not? I'm gonna start things off with a bless.
what does bless add to again?
D4 to attack rolls, saving throws, and I think it's just attack rolls and saving throws.
Not ability.
No.
That won't benefit to her doing the ritual. sadly.
No, but I was thinking if this unleashes something, it'll give her a better chance of surviving.
Yeah, true. Which she is looking pretty rough. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she is. Shadowstorm says, if you want healing, Tidal Wave, I can provide you with good berries, but it would use up a lot of my spell slots. But I don't need the first levels for anything, so I can spend. So he's a 4th level druid, but he has
Right.
he has like 4
I
level,
actually have a better
4
idea.
first level. Just the same way Tidal Wave used hers up to
Yeah.
make 40 good berries. She could do
Yeah.
that for her. Or you can spread it around a bit.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking I might have a better idea than Bless. Tidal Wave, can you breathe underwater?
Yes, I'm a water genasi.
I didn't want to assume. I could technically surround you in a watery sphere
Oh.
and then move you up close, and that would potentially offer you some protection
Oh.
against a fire-based attack.
That's true. Basically half fire damage.
Mm.
If there is any.
Which in that case, thinking of that, I would have done that instead of the bless. I will say.
All right, you can do that. That's fine. I'll let you
Yeah.
run it back.
Yeah. So I will.
How about I cast Bless then with my scroll? Because I don't know what other situation I'm ever going to use it on.
I mean, if you
I've just
want
been
to.
I've been hoarding this scroll for God knows how long. I don't even know where I got it from at this point. Yeah, I'll concentrate on Bless on them three then, knowing what Karius was after.
I mean, technically that's getting Shadow Storm, which I don't think it should, but yeah. The watery sphere.
3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Actually, Shadow Storm, can you breathe underwater too?
Shadow Storm, no, I can't.
That's fair. Actually, wait. I can breathe underwater at the moment due to the Necklace of Adaptation, can't I?
Lets you breathe in any kind of environment, right?
Yeah. So I would have, because I can, I will also encase myself in that in order to get close.
Okay then. As you cross this threshold, there is no movement from the Ashen armors or the Ashen statues. But as tidal wave gets up to the ritual circle and begins pulling out the scroll, you definitely see a kind of a bright flash coming from the eyes. Seems to suddenly acknowledge your presence. The heat in the room kind of begins to swirl. There's a pulsing from the lava that kind of pushes out in a small wave from the mountainside. Where are the rest of you going to be?
Well, not cowering, but hiding behind this statue in the hopes it doesn't come to life and attack. It's probably the best. For some distance away, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because
these are these are facing away, not facing inwards. So.
There they are.
And they're not in a running pose or anything. They just stood there guarding.
Shadowstorm seems to look at them. And he's like, starts to look around. 1, 2, 3. You can see him counting them all. 4, 6.
Quick question: how do I unfollow? Because me, Andy, and
Just-
Llyvelin are like attached to each other right now.
Just drag the token.
Oh.
No, just okay. Drag a square like this. Just draw a square with the token selection tool. Go to token controls, then select tokens, and then drag a square not over anyone. Just drag a square over like non-selecting tokens. Okay, and then select Steph. There you
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So Shadowstorm was counting these figures that seem to be in worship before this
I think
statue.
13, right? If you include
These
the
ones
ones.
look different.
I am. There's 8 of those. No, 9 of those.
Nope, 10.
10? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, 10. Yeah.
10, he says. And then he looks at himself and he kind of goes, 11. The others look like they're more like guards. These ones look like they were once, perhaps, the actual worshippers. I'm not sure. They look like they're worshipping. And if that's true, and if I'm one of the remaining ones, that makes me 11. And it suddenly kind of occurs to him. I think they were something like the Ashen Elementalists.
With Elementalists?
11 elementals. I'm not sure. It's been so long. But as you get up to this area, Tidal Wave and Karius, you can see there's another inscription. This one is much more intact, though perhaps a little bit worn away. But you can still just about make it out without the need to like repair it.
Mhm.
And so around in a circle, it reads, "Fire unchained, a sky of dread, a land of cinder, a river red. The preservers stood, the oath was sworn, to bury wrath, lest worlds be torn." And you can also see it shows in the inner circle, there's like a mural that depicts the fire hydra rampaging, mountains crumbling, volcanoes erupting as people are burning to death. And there's also a group of robed figures, and they seem to be raising their hands as well. They are not running from this. They seem to be raising on higher towards the actual Hydra itself, and they are not unlike the robed kind of statues surrounding
Yeah.
this statue. Nonetheless, you do see the eyes beginning to glow more furiously. And Eirina, Andy, are you okay in that position? You're good. Did you want some good berries as well? Shadowstorm's made 40 of them, so we can offer out like 10 to each of you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's like 10 to Andy. He says, "Eat these down."
By the way, probably needs them more than I do.
Okay, and I'll give 10 to Tidal Wave. There you go. That's 40 healing, Shadowstorm does, and Tidal Wave begins the ritual. After about...
my hood, so my snake can protect me.
What, the good berries?
Yeah.
So you're not going to eat them?
Not straight away.
No? Okay. You can hold on to them just in case, if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have them in my hood with my snake, so if needs be, Sneaky can help me just go.
Sneaky
one
can
in.
slither and administer.
All right, that's a good idea. Just in case someone goes down as well, you've got some to pick people up. All right. If you could add that to your sheet and write make the quantity as 10. All right. Tidal Wave begins the ritual. Still exhausted. All right. Let's do it. She only needs to roll a little bit higher. Karius.
Yeah, I will
Impressive heat.
assist.
This is too much.
I will use shape water to cool down the watery sphere
Oh yeah.
to allow her to
She can do that
focus.
too, technically. Does that actually cause... It's not concentration, is it?
Nope.
Is it? Okay, nice. Yeah, I'll let her re-roll. That's better. Much more like the open ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness
Oh
sake.
my god.
She's struggling. There's
Um,
something not quite working here.
I can try to assist, I suppose. It's technically
You start to see the the edges of the scroll beginning to sort of fray and turn to
No,
ash.
no, that's no
And
good.
turn to dust.
Uh,
I don't know if she has anything else.
looking to see if I've got anything that would be more useful in this case.
Oh no, it's not working.
The only thing I could do at this point is try to do the ritual myself, because I can also do that spell.
You could.
I'm blessed.
It would
doesn't-
be a
Wisdom
just
check,
a
wouldn't it?
straight charisma or wisdom. Yeah,
Yeah,
it depends.
because it's a
Because
cleric.
circle or what is it? Circle of
Magic circle. Yeah, because it's on the cleric
magic
spell
circle.
list, not the
Yeah, she's struggling.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah.
But
Can I try to persuade her that she's got this to boost up her morale? But then again, she's got all the exhaustion, so I'm probably am the better choice. But then I'm out of the fight whilst doing it.
the only other thing that would help this in this instance, I think, is either a guidance or a
And
Bardic
have guidance,
inspiration.
which is weird. I thought I did. Apparently it's not one of the ones I took. I guess I'm just gonna have to. Our Bardic Inspiration, is that now reactionary like it was previously?
It is. Yeah, I'll allow it. It's technically this is happening over the course of a minute anyway, so
Yeah. So
you can start to see, Andy, that as Tidal Wave is struggling, the scroll is turning to dust. If she doesn't succeed this, the magic circle scroll will be lost.
And he just kind of like thinks, so she better say thank you this time, and she will Bardic inspiration. Because literally, I've given her so many different things, and I've just got huffiness back.
You could say I did pretty good job of emulating Tidal Wave then. Go ahead if you want to roll that. She only needs what is a magic circle spell? It's like a second level.
third.
Third.
Perfect.
Ooh.
13.
So she needs a 7.
Oh, can you get that higher?
Yeah, because Andy should be on what, like a D10 at least at this point? How many bard levels do you have?
11.
Yeah.
Can't remember when bard dice goes
It
up
goes
again.
to 10 at 10. Yeah, it is a D10. So
Yeah.
there's a 30% chance that this saves it. Otherwise, I think Karius will need to intervene. But
Yeah.
that's up to you.
Yeah. Go for it, I guess. Let's see how we do.
It's a D10.
Mm-hmm.
6.
God, you're on away.
Question:
Yeah.
Didn't you give
Yes.
Tidal Wave bless?
Yeah, but bless is
This is
saving throws.
Yeah.
And also he changed his mind and went
No,
for
but Llyvelin
the-
went for Llyvelin used bless with a scroll instead.
Yeah, I did.
But it still doesn't
you
help
did?
in this case.
Yeah,
That's
that's why
it.
I'm concentrating right now.
Oh. Could you... how do you have a scroll of bless?
I did. I just deleted it, but I did click on it further up in the chat to say that I was using it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think how you would automate that, but don't worry about it for now. Just keep a note of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You
have
start
to
to
roll,
see Tidal
aren't I?
Wave struggling, and eventually you're like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. And she
let
seems
me
to-
try and take over.
Okay.
It's
All
gonna
right.
have to be a wisdom check from me, and I am not the best at these.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
Could I get another
All right.
bardic inspiration?
Could you get another one? Pretty please.
got it.
With Anders on
11
top.
this time, so
Okay.
You don't need the 2.
Yeah. Sorry, Andy. It's I'm trying to read this underwater. It's not easy.
Goggling.
Oh,
Oh,
the
there it
8 we
is.
needed.
And there's the 8 we need.
Okay.
Amazing.
Tidal wave.
I
will step
appreciate it,
away.
Andy.
You do? Will she?
And Tidal Wave, remember to thank Andy, or I'll push you into the lava.
Thanks. I'm sorry that I can't get my shit together. Ugh. And
Okay.
she shakes her head as she steps away for a moment, and Karius, you step into the ritual, beginning reading the spell aloud.
Yeah.
As you do, you start to see another pulse, a wave of heat, and the figures around the room begin to sort of crack. The ash is shaking and breaking away from the reverberations that are emanating from this statue. Except it's definitely not a statue at this point. As you see the rock beginning to shift and change, the mouth actually opens up, and you see a coalescing flame beginning to form in that mouth. And, well, I will need everyone to roll initiative as it begins to breathe that out.
Gotta last a minute. This is gonna be fun.
I'm going to allow this to be 3 rounds in. All right, so
Okay. 7 rounds.
And well, this being the first of that 7 rounds means at the top of the round you've now got 6 rounds left.
Okay. I have an idea for this. So
Okay.
So I have a couple of ideas. One would be a pure flavor thing on my part. More than likely, which is to use shape water as a bonus action with quicken spell to essentially freeze my shield in the water in front of me. Because it's an adamantine shield, so I'm hoping that will help in some way.
All right.
Basically giving me some cover, I guess.
That can help.
Yeah.
Kesh'an is up first.
Yeah,
And
so...
have to roll. Let me roll something before we get onto this. D4.
Yeah, Kesh'an can make
1. Nice and easy. Starting us off. And I'll roll a D8 to see kind of which direction this is from you guys. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be this one right here. The ashen statue seems to like tilt and get lopsided from the shaking, and as this little island tips, the statue falls into its side and cracks and shatters into pieces. But what rises up and out of the statue is this burning elemental spirit, and you see that its eyes turn and look around. You can see a beard of flame where their head would be is this like skull that's just melted away all the flesh.
No idea what that is, but that's a really cool magma elemental.
It is a fire geist. I'll roll that onto initiative as well. It's also its sword suddenly drops to the ground with a clang, and then suddenly lifts up and levitates. And you've got that to deal with as well. An ashen flying sword. And Kesh'an sees this happening. It suddenly looks towards Tidal Wave and Karius, and you hear that hissing, sizzling sound of Ignan. What are you doing? Kesh'an is up first.
Alright, so Kesh'an is going to use part of their movement to get to here. And we will unleash... Don't you dare miss, Kesh'an. A returning chakram into them. And... I don't know if this will work, but I'm Can they do this? I need to check. When you hit... Ah, no, it has to be a melee weapon attack. That's fine. And then they are going to... Once it comes back, throw again, miss. And then... I'm considering... Because one of the other ideas that I would do if I was playing... I know I am playing Kesh'an, but obviously not my character, is technically if Kesh'an was to move in front of the water when the what I assume is a fire breath attack comes out, he could technically deflect the energy of that, right?
Yeah, if there's a if it's an attack roll.
But it'd be a saving throw. But he would also be fine from the fire. So, but no, I think I'll just have Kesh'an can't do anything as bonus action at this point. That would be effective. Because he has to use martial arts to do that, and he doesn't have reach with martial arts. Where? That's a potential idea. Would that work? And it's centered around yourself, so that's probably not great. So I just reminded myself what Kesh'an can do as a bonus action. They have quite a lot these days. No, I think that'll probably be...
Yeah.
I'm going to move Kesh'an to here so that he's basically ready with Sentinel if something comes in to attack.
It will. The figure wades its way off of the island and retaliates against Kesh'an, which should be a disadvantage, right? Because he's still got the cloak. Dang. Okay. All right. I would have hit that otherwise. We'll roll again. Nope.
Yep.
It's
Give me my health back.
As per usual, he seems to swipe out and hits the image, the after image. Dodge. There is a dodging. Okay, and they would definitely miss with the second one as well. With each kind of swipe, you hear them sort of saying in Ignan, "You know not what you do." And it is Karius's turn.
So Karius is going to be...
You definitely see a building fire in its mouth.
Yeah. So I'd have to do this on my turn now, wouldn't I, to put the shield in front of me and freeze it, right?
Yes.
And I need to use my action for that, so let me just... How many key points does Quicken Spell use? Uses 2, so I've got enough. So yeah, I'm going to freeze my shield in place in front of me. And particularly covering the scroll. So even if the fire hits me, the scroll should be protected behind the shield.
All right.
Yeah, and that's literally all I'm doing, because my action is use... technically, me trying to cast this ritual, I'm gonna rules lure myself here. Me trying to cast... Yeah, but...
You have to use your action every turn?
Not for the watery sphere, but I was thinking, would me trying to cast the... Ritual, would that break concentration?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is concentration, right? To do that. So you can still shape water and freeze something. That's not concentration, but I don't think.
But I wouldn't have a watery
sphere.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be gone now.
Okay then. All right.
Yeah.
That's a little shame, but someone has to do the ritual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is it only concentration once this... So is it because I'm having to use my action each turn, that's what the concentration is basically, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Okay. What was we on?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it's I'm gonna say Andy's go real quick before these two. They're getting ready to swing their swords at this thing, clearly. You can take your turn as well, Andy. Since theirs is really basic.
Well,
Oh, I should rage.
mm,
How is his damage boost?
is that the one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be easily in range. Thank you. I'm not going to use my big pew pews yet, but ooh,
Ooh,
nice.
good shot. Okay. Go with a reckless attack. But still a miss, really. That exhaustion kicking his butt. Should have a +5, +4.
and that
Should be
minus
another
6.
+3. There should be a +3 sword though, so
Yeah, so that'd be a 10. I mean, that earlier one would have been a 13. I don't know if 13.
Past Shadow Storm's ear between him and Kesh'an.
Yeah. Also, because that's got an ally next to it, you could apply sneak attack, right?
yes.
Ooh, nice. Where's my sneaky?
Where is she?
It's only probably like 2d6 or 3d6, but it's still, extra damage is extra damage.
Oh, it's there. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one.
It's definitely not 1d6. Actually, how many rogue levels do you have? You have 3?
Yeah.
3.
Let me just double check that because that damage doesn't look right. Should be 2d6, so just roll it again, I guess, or use that again.
On next d6. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. 11 damage with the sneak attack. Very nice.
Another
So
5,
20
okay.
damage in total.
Oof. All right. Let me just check if that. What was it earlier? 13 would have hit. No, I wouldn't have. Okay. That will be Shadowstorm's go. Tidal Wave will come in as well. And yeah, they really went all out with the starting equipment, didn't they? Because she's got a Warhammer +3. What the crap?
How?
Oh my god. Why is it +3, +3, +3, +3?
Part
Crazy.
of that damage is probably part strength, part rage. Then the +3 from the
Yeah.
weapon. And then it's probably doing the at mod thing, so it's adding her strength twice.
Yeah. It is. I don't know how to get rid of that. It's really annoying.
I do. So
Where do you
on
go?
there, yeah, you just where it says plus at mod, just remove that because it adds that automatically.
Right. +3. Okay. Let's see if that works. All right. She swings in again a second time. Should have been reckless, really. Let's just keep him going. Well, I don't know what this is. Bronte's Torment. That looks goddamn ridiculous. That's what that does. I don't know what that is. I couldn't tell you. But I'm going to undo that and just say she's going with the Warhammer. She's also got Pescurian's Judge. How did she get these weapons? I don't know. Either way, I'll say that this thing is left very badly wounded, and you can see its crumbling form melting away in the lava. Now it'll be her turn. It's Eirina's go.
Okay. I'm assuming we want it pulled away.
Yes.
Because we want it away from you. So pew pew pew. 1.
Oh. Oh. With that second hit, you see it pulled and it crumbles to pieces as it falls over Shadowstorm. It is no more. However, there's a little ashen flying sword here.
Can my third
Which-
one not have gone to that instead? If you said it was the second one it died on.
Yeah, you can shoot it.
So it'd be a 27 with
Because it
7
rolls
damage.
through all 3 automatically at once. So
It does, and that's actually supposed to be how it behaves.
yeah, but I'm just
So
saying
you
that
sort of-
last one is the one then.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you don't necessarily know its HP. You designate the 3 targets and then fire them.
Yeah.
That's traditionally normally how Eldritch Blast works. But yeah. All right. Well, it's gonna fly down then. Zhew.
Because Kesh'an has a spiked chain with sickle, which is a reach weapon, would it have moved
Did he-
away from?
Did he attack with that last turn?
No, he had the returning chakram.
Then he does not
Yeah.
have it drawn.
That's fair.
And it will fly in and take a swipe at Andy. Whoosh. And it's just going to miss. All right. That'll be its go. Now this thing. The mouth opens up and breathes out this fire. Except it isn't exactly what you was expecting, Karius. Instead of this large cone that just bellows over everything, it's not a dragon. It's a hydra, and although possibly has something similar, it's not fully formed yet either. And instead, what seems to leak out is this ghostly, flaming spirit that animates and swirls around, zigzagging towards you. It is an animated breath. You can see there's a white dragon that is breathing this like ghostly white creature out. So it's like its breath has come alive, its sentient breath now approaches you. I will say that with your shield up and in the way, sort of starts to maneuver around, and it will avoid you for the moment, but it instead goes for tidal wave. And I guess we can get from there. Yeah, I can like it hovers in the air slightly, and we'll go for a multi-attack with advantage since tidal wave did do reckless. Let's do it again. Oh god, tidal wave's getting absolutely rocked. Thankfully, they're taking half damage from some of this.
Be most of it, right? Because we had the fire resistance potion, I think.
And that's it by the looks. 2 attacks. And it's got a fiery aura as well. But that happens at the start of its turn. So for now, I will just get as close and into as many enemies as possible. So it does get right up next to you, Karius, and you can feel its elemental form burning on the inside of your chest. And that'll be
You
its
mind?
go,
I'm
but
trying to
then
read here.
your turn.
Ooh, that doesn't look good. And this is it's flaming, but it's ghostly.
So in the art, that's the spirit of a white dragon's animated breath. In this instance, it is a fiery red spirit, much like you would expect a fire-breathing creature to have. So it's like this red, ghostly creature.
all I have is necrotic and fire for cantrips. So let's hope that necrotic works.
Okay.
It's uninjured,
Go
isn't it?
for it.
Not been attacked yet.
I'm afraid so. Yeah. There's also a sword in front of you if you wanted to deal with that as well.
Oh shit, the sword. Yeah, no, the sword.
You want to
Yeah,
go for
sorry.
the sword?
Yeah, the sword right in my face. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
I got this.
just roll
Yeah,
this
just
instead. That fails.
so it would
You
be.
did 3d8. Well, it could be 3d12.
Yeah, it'll be
it's
3d12.
technically damaged.
I'll just roll it. 14.
Nice, 1 extra point. Okay, that rusts the sword away, and it is no more.
God.
Falls to the ground.
See, we're safe now, Andy.
Okay.
However, they don't look safe over there.
Right, start of the round.
Nurse Andy probably coming in again.
Okay. This time, many more of those creatures begin to break out of their ashen shells, as well as the animated swords with them begin to emerge and separate. And I'm going to say it's going to be these 5.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Actually, let's make it interesting. I'll roll one of these in the corners as well. Number 3. Okay, it's gonna be this one down here. All right, one of the statues down in the bottom right, you hear crunching and awakening, and starts to make their way around towards you. Let's grab these on initiative. All right, Kesh'an's up first.
Right. Kesh'an is gonna do what Kesh'an does best. Move around and work defensively for Karius in this case. As we whack out with the +2 quarterstaff. And we whack again. Damn it, Kesh'an. +2 weapon, man. Why are you missing? And then I'm going to spend a key point to flurry of blows, because that seems appropriate this time, considering this is literally... Yeah. And might as well just go for the second one. And the third one.
Ow.
And could I also, as part of that, and this is the main thing I was trying to do, get a...
Oh boy. How many attacks did you just hit with?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
At least he's resistant
likewise,
to fire.
punching into this does feel like you're
One of
putting your
them-
hand in straight
Yep.
into the fire.
But I also would like a strength save from it.
Okay.
As I attempt to knock it back. I think that actually meets the DC.
It is very strong. Very, very strong.
It's the DC. It'd be 8 plus proficiency 13. Actually,
Plus his wisdom.
it's plus wisdom, which is 15. God damn it, wasn't Dex?
It's on the dot. Yeah, afraid
Yeah.
so. Okay.
Well,
Then-
technically, I hit it 3 times, so I like another 2 strength saves. Because it's literally any time I hit with an attack from my open hand technique.
Okay. Oh boy, there's that one.
Yep, get knocked back 15 feet.
Boof. Don't know how, but he's managed to do it. Channeling his ki pushes back the spiritual energy of this animated breath.
Yeah. I'm imagining it's literally like he's just punching so fast they literally blows it back.
Nice. Okay. The next fiery geist appears.
Yep.
Begins making their way.
I don't know why you're sending fiery versions of my own character to attack me. It's kind of mean.
It's fire geist, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay,
This
Kesh'an's
is-
definitely the big threat, so...
And you miss. Or
Just need to hit once.
Hmm.
Like that. Okay. I'm going to use Combustion Touch. That will set him on fire unless he rolls a really good to save like that. Yeah, never mind.
he just like literally dances over the fire.
Okay, yeah. He does get struck. That does stop his cloak of displacement, but
Mm-hmm.
does dodge out of the way as these. Now, it's very important to know what you see happen when he does this is he seems to pull forth, much like in the mural, their arms raised. They seem to channel the power of the Hydra itself. And you perhaps see a mote of energy wisp away from the dragon's mouth, well, not the dragon's, the Hydra's mouth. And it coalesces around their hands before he tosses it towards Kesh'an, and he's able to dodge out of the way, seeing it coming in time. But as that happens, Karius, and everyone for that matter, you see the eyes on the dragon just momentarily flicker out. Okay, Karius, it's your turn. You're concentrating, right?
Yeah, I'm concentrating, but might as well get my own licks in whilst I'm doing this. Bonus action stuff. I've got enough sorcery points, so Karius is just gonna kick if I can. Can I still bonus action a spell while I'm trying to concentrate on this? If it's a
If
cantrip?
you can quicken it.
Yep, which I'm doing.
All right. Only the sorcerer can do this.
Just give it a little bit of chip damage.
Okay. Nice. That'll do something. Certainly, they start to see you. You're on like round 5 now of the. So you're halfway
Yeah.
complete, and I think definitely at this point you start to see some of them beginning to look in your direction. But which one is this? He's not going to get to you. Thankfully, he has to get through Shadowstorm and Tidal Wave first. So we'll say he moves up to here. And they say, "We siphon to slumber." And we'll make, again, attacks of opportunity. Attacks at advantage because of Reckless. So that would be a miss still. That one's a hit. It's not a crit. Shadowstorm, fully healed up, can take the hits, but he's going to be hit with a combustion strike as well. Which, with Danger Sense, he dodges out of the way. And sure enough, this creature also does siphon energy from the Hydra and then uses it to try and throw it at Shadowstorm,
Wait.
but it's not enough.
Wait, they siphon to slumber.
Hmm. Okay.
Are you guys actually trying to seal this thing away as well? And you're just absorbing its energy to do so?
I'll see if they can reply on their turn. But for now, this hulking animated armor looks like it's been through the ringer with several wounds on it. This thing kind of starts trudging towards the party on the bottom side. And they're going to dash to get to here. And that'll be their turn. And Shadowstorm. And if you want to take control of their turn, James, I've given you permission of Shadowstorm and Tidal Wave.
Sure.
They- They have got a feature, reckless attack, so I'll
Yeah, they're
do that for
probably
you.
they're probably gonna do that, and then I guess which longsword +3 am I using? Do they have a shield
The
or?
one's favorited.
Yeah, I'm just
No, they're using that like two-handed.
yeah, which would be the so shouldn't that be the D10, not D8?
Yeah, it should.
Let me change that.
Cool.
Nah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I fixed everything else on that thing.
Would you like to use your reckless attack this turn? Yes.
Oh, crit.
Wait. Yeah. And it did the savage
Holy
attack.
moly,
by the
31
looks of it.
damage.
Yep. Wow. And then
And unfortunately, exhaustion kicks in and
wait a
doesn't
minute.
quite make that.
That's
Unless,
not right.
Llyvelin, who's Bless on, by the way?
It's on Karius, Tidal Wave, and Andy.
Okay.
Set
just
the
checking.
same three.
That
Yep.
damage isn't that attack proficiency isn't right. Because the 4 is strength. The 3 is the weapon. The -6 is exhaustion. It's not adding proficiency to that.
Okay, yeah, hold up. Details.
Because they're not considered proficient in a longsword.
Yeah, I've changed the longsword, so now they're proficient. So that would be a hit. And it would do 14 damage. Cool. Alright. Alright, Karius, a longsword comes flying towards you. Zoom. Oh! Duck underneath, swooshes over your head. You manage to remember to accommodate for your extra horn, and
Yep.
that doesn't get chopped off. And then just tidal waves
How
go.
are some of these weapons she has, though? Like, seriously.
I think just stick to the Warhammer, because that's the only thing I could
Yeah.
I could figure out,
Um,
which I'll make proficient as well. There
What?
you go.
oh, I'm still targeting them. Let me try that again.
Oh, boy. Oh no. Karius. Oh no.
He's taking like 30 damage. So,
Nice. Kesh'an will get an attack of opportunity with Sentinel,
yep.
as this one's going to attack Karius.
And whack.
Stop them. And I think that would be a hit on its. Kesh'an does manage to smack them back again, but Karius, I'm going to need a concentration check.
Oh no. Oh wait, I've
Oh.
got bless, and I'm
Uh-huh.
and technically I'm good at these.
Oh, okay, low roll, but a success nonetheless.
I have a +8
it's gonna-
and an extra D4 should I need it.
Can you make me a dex save, please?
I'd rather I didn't have to. I'm not that good at those, but I get the extra. I get the
That's a
extra.
2.
The extra D4 is not going to help.
It's not gonna help at all. Okay. You immediately catch fire and take an additional 1d10 at the beginning of your next turn. Until someone takes an action to douse the fire, you would take a d10 at the start of every one of your turns. And that will rack up a lot of concentration checks. And I got one more slam as well. Just to hit it home.
Do you mind?
Okay, that's a miss though. They do say and reply to you. We channel the power of the Hydra. In doing so, it weakens the beast.
And I'm trying to
says this-
seal it away forever, so...
It says this in Ignan as well.
Which I do speak.
Primordial. Then you understand. Tidal waves done. Andy, it's your turn.
I will point out it has gone 10. So if you guys are going to carry on, I'm going to have to go to bed. I've got work tomorrow. But let's see.
We can go to the end of the round, at least.
Yeah, but it's only a few turns. Most of which are going to be attacking me, I imagine.
We can get to you.
The trouble is that I use like my. Always just trying to find the. Yeah, it's two. I've already used that one. Oh, I'm gonna have to go into the fray, aren't I, to try and heal her. Alright, okay. I think all my movement will get me up there.
And bonus to dash.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And where is it gone? I haven't got my glasses on, thank you.
Healing tidal wave for a big old bucket load of dice. That should help them out immensely there. They were looking really low.
Yeah.
She turns to you and says, thanks. If I really get out of this alive, I'll make sure to thank you properly.
With gold?
Yes, with gold. Take it. She like reaches to a back little money pouch. Starts jingling it.
Wait. Get through this first. Then we will talk gold. Okay?
All right, deal. All right, Llyvelin, you're taking some heat. One of the fire guys rushes towards you, tries to slam into you, but overestimates. Oh, there you go. Then it turns around and swipes at you. You can give me a dex save as well, and a concentration check too.
Okay, yeah. Dex save. Nice.
Okay, that's fine. You don't get set ablaze, and give me a concentration check.
Oh, there
That's
goes.
not so good. Oh fuck. Oh no.
There goes my bless.
That does. That's not good.
Well,
Okay.
I get +8 on con save, so I've just got to roll higher than a 2, right?
True. All right, Eirina. Your turn.
Okay. Karius is surrounded. Llyvelin has people around him.
And there's more statues awakening.
Yeah, maybe worry about the ones up front. I'll live for
Yeah.
now.
Right. I would like to go for the 3 to the left of Karius. So they're taking 1 shot each, and I need to yank them
Okay.
10 foot.
So target those. Okay.
Should now do one blast each, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I can only go so fast.
Nah, it's all good.
Faster.
It's more just I'm hoping that the automation works how I think it should work.
Ooh, all
man.
three.
Tiny bits of damage. Chip damage. Okay, well, you're going to pull them, right? So
Mhm.
I'll yank them this way. Which definitely gets them off of Karius' back.
At least for a few minutes.
Okay. Well, it allows at least to someone to interpose themselves there. Okay, I think I've already taken this thing's turn. Yeah, I have. So I'm going to go down to the animated breath. And then it'll be Llyvelin's go after that. Okay, so the fire aura pulses out from the animated breath, and good job you pushed it away, because that would have set everyone ablaze around it. After that, then it wants to get into the same position it was before. And this time, Kesh'an doesn't have his cloak, so I'm going to attempt to hit him hard, but that's awful. I can't hit above a 10, so you see it sort of lashing out, and it moves and sways much like a hydra. Its form kind of splitting momentarily to go 1, 2, but yeah, either way, he's able to dodge out of that. The final flying sword spins its way into the fray, taking up one of the areas where one got pulled, and clangs against your shield, Karius. Okay, that'll be it. And Llyvelin, last turn. Before I will
Okay.
close up today.
I go here, not to provoke any attacks of opportunity. I pull out a nice little lightning bolt, my last third.
Oh, nice.
And that should... I don't think there's a better way than that. Yeah.
Ooh. So, do you want to know a little nerdy thing about lightning bolt I learned? Actually, no, I should save it for Terry Tower when you get to truly learn how to use lightning bolt. That would be hilarious.
Also,
Terry, somewhere in the world, has been telling everyone that he's been using lightning bolt wrong, but...
it missed one of them. It didn't do this one for some reason.
Okay, that's because the
right in
template
my
is just before it. Yeah, alright.
Yeah, but it's lit purple on it.
So soon you'll get to learn the true power of lightning bolt, but today is not that day. Alright, it does still fail. 27 lightning to it.
Yeah, did they all fail?
Let me try and roll them now. Looking like it. Yes, absolutely. Complete failure across the board.
Nice.
So 27 to the sword. That'll take it out. Bang. Other one down. And this one takes a whopping 27 as well. Okay. After a devastating lightning bolt rips through the battlefield, one of them turns and says, Sealing it? Sealing it is folly. One cannot contain a primordial.
The people in
One
the
must
Earth Elemental plane would tell you different.
And yet, the rumblings of its cage we felt shatter.
Yeah, that was me.
Nothing. Then you know nothing can stay imprisoned forever.
Yeah, but forever's a long time. It just has to be long enough.
One must learn to coexist with the chaos. And with that, we will end tonight's session. As these strange Hydra cultists seem to be spouting something about a coexistence. Till then, yeah, we have no session next week, but then week after that. I think we're back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So join us Monday for the Jumping Junipers, Tuesday for the Mistaken, Wednesday for the other Icewind Dale group. We will not be back next Friday. We're back on the 2nd, but join us on the 27th for the next Icewind Trekkers game, where we might all die in that case as well, but to a very different element.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.